My girlfriend has stopped sexual intimacy. She's bringing up the idea of soon cutting off every form of intimacy. Am I overthinking by believing I cannot do anything about it? Trigger warning: sexual assault. I want to start by saying that I know I am using an older NSFW account and that we are a very young couple, so this might not be taken as seriously as other relationships. We recently hit 8 months together, and she is the woman of my dreams, but I have been feeling very afraid lately. I do not really have anyone in my life to talk to about this, as friends and trusted people have been getting busy with their own lives. This might be a long read. I apologize for the formatting, as I am obviously on mobile. I met this girl a while back in high school, and we were friends for some time. Life happened, and we grew apart, but fate brought us back together, and now we are in a relationship. I have never been this happy with another person before. She has genuinely changed my life for the better, but recently I have been feeling a bit down. There is a lot of backstory from my personal experiences, but this part is what matters. My first girlfriend was a very mixed experience, and it ended badly. I am cutting out many details because I would rather not talk about her, but long story short, she cheated on me after, or maybe before, I honestly do not want to find out, forcing me to have sex. I never told anyone about this until I met my current girlfriend, who helped me understand that what happened to me was rape. My girlfriend helped me process everything and become more open about intimacy. She helped me more than I can explain. I have always been very respectful of her boundaries and always ask for consent before anything physical happens. She has told me before that I do not need to ask every time, especially before sex, but I personally cannot and will not stop asking. Consent is extremely important to me. We were very sexually active, and it helped me build confidence in myself. However, that changed about 2 months ago. One day, she just stopped being in the mood. I did not hold anything against her, because it is her body and she has every right to say no. I stopped initiating intimacy once I noticed she was no longer interested. I do not mean anything negative toward her at all, but at that time, I was at my peak, so to speak, in terms of sexual confidence. Having that suddenly taken away made me lose a lot of confidence. After talking about it, she told me that she wanted to save sex for marriage moving forward. I accepted this, and I have been doing a bit better mentally, but I still feel sexually frustrated. That does not mean I am unhappy with her. I absolutely adore her and love spending time with her. It was difficult at first to break a habit, since intimacy had been a big part of our relationship, but it was not the only thing holding us together. I have been trying to suppress those feelings by working out or going back to old hobbies. Unfortunately, working out often increases my desire for intimacy, which is frustrating because I'm trying to build confidence. The feeling still lingers. I do not want her for her body, but I deeply miss that closeness. About 1 or 2 weeks ago, she said she might soon stop all forms of intimacy, including kissing, cuddling, holding hands, and similar things. I did not show it to her, but that statement broke me. I remember going home and crying myself to sleep. My mood was off for several days afterward. It has improved somewhat, but I still feel emotional even typing this. I love this woman for who she is and for how she has been there for me through everything. However, I do not see myself lasting without any form of intimacy until marriage. We are very young, and the thought of waiting years before having any physical contact has been eating away at me. She does love me very much, but I am confused. Why be so intimate in the first place if it is supposed to be reserved for marriage only? Again, I adore this woman with everything I have, but I am hesitant to admit that I do not see this working if there is no form of intimacy for the next few years. I do not feel trapped in the relationship, but I would feel horrible if I left. She helped me through the worst times of my life and encouraged me to pursue my dreams and goals. I have always been there for her when no one else was, helping her through some of the hardest moments in her life, both past and present. I feel like I am overthinking all of this. I love her deeply, so why am I having doubts about our future? If I were to leave, would she think I only wanted her for her body? Can I realistically suppress my desire for intimacy for that long? Will our relationship even last? I have been very clingy lately, cuddling, kissing, holding her, taking naps together, but I am afraid I am just delaying the inevitable loss of all intimacy. She has told me many times that this is not because of me, but because intimacy is something she wants to reserve for marriage. I am at a very low point right now. I love her so much and do not want to let go, but at the same time, everything that brought us closer together is slowly fading. Is it normal to overthink this much? How long can I realistically go without any form of intimacy? I am afraid that if I end things, she will think I only wanted her for her body. Any advice would be appreciated. Update, pasted from another reply. I just got back from talking with her. I asked nearly every question I had to get clarification, and we ended things there. I will update again in a week once I have everything sorted out. Final update, we broke up, and it has been a rough week. Thank you to everyone who helped me process everything and find the courage to stand up for myself. She is handling it much better than I am, which I am honestly thankful for. We met at a Starbucks nearby, got our drinks, and sat in the car. I told her I wanted to talk about something that had been on my mind for a while, and I think she knew where the conversation was going. I held her hand the entire time and told her I was not angry or upset with her, but that there were things weighing on me. Regarding the lack of sexual intimacy, there was no cheating involved. To be honest, even having that idea suggested destroyed me mentally, and I wish it had never been brought up. As some commenters mentioned on my previous post, this was a religious decision, though not entirely hers. Her parents found out that we had been sexually active and, according to her, threatened to tell the church and have them intervene. Before continuing, I want to clarify that this is not a religious hate post. I have never been a big fan of church. I do not mind religion itself, and I believe there are good churches out there, but I feel that much of the judgment and control associated with Christian hate comes from environments like this. Her parents are very controlling when it comes to her personal life, including finances. As for the idea of cutting off all intimacy, things became confusing. She explained that she only brought it up because of a bad experience with an ex and thought that was normal in relationships. She compared it to taking space after a fight. I told her that she could have simply said she needed time instead of saying there would be no more intimacy at all. I asked if I had done anything wrong in the relationship. She said I had not, although we had a few disagreements that never truly impacted us. I asked if I was too much for her, and she said sometimes. She then explained that her life felt overwhelming: school, lack of freedom due to her parents, and general stress. At that moment, I realized she was not ready for a relationship. I let her finish speaking and then told her that things were not working. She cried and begged me not to leave, saying she had no one else. I told her we could still talk, but the relationship could not continue like this. I explained that if we stayed together, things would eventually end much worse, likely with no contact at all. She cried more, and I held her and tried to comfort her. I truly hope she is not holding on to hope for the future. I told her I had no regrets, that I enjoyed every trip we took together, and that I would do it all over again. In hindsight, I may have messed up by saying that, but what is done is done. Before she left, I let her calm down. I hugged her, kissed her, and we went our separate ways. Now, I only text her occasionally to check on her, and she only texts me if she has questions she did not get to ask. She is handling everything much better than I am. I have felt very alone this past week. As one commenter mentioned on my previous post, I am emotionally attached to her. I have been trying to keep myself busy, and it helps sometimes, but I still feel lonely. My friends are out of state, and my only local friend has been strangely avoidant. It is going to be rough for a while, but I believe everything will eventually be okay.